Hey, welcome back YouTube once again to Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR. Here this morning heading to work on his lovely 2011 Harley Electric Glide Classic. You know, I was just listening to the radio. They have what's called the impossible question every day. And they said 29% of people never have done this with their car. What is it? And I thought that was kind of interesting. And there was a lot, like I was thinking, you know, change your tire, and they said no. And I was thinking about rotating your tires. They said no. Changing oil, no. It's something that I guess a lot of us probably don't even think about. But it was checking for a spare tire before you go out anywhere. You know, making sure you have a spare. Nobody, I mean, we have that spare tire in there, and we all think, you know, that it's good, but we never ever check the spare tire. We never take it up, inspect it. Heck, it could be dry rotted for as long as it could be sitting in that little wheel well, right? Who knows? That is actually not my talk today. My talk today is, we looked at a total of 4 weather apps plus watched the news this morning to try to find out, is it going to rain today? Now, we had the whole gamut. Mrs. HDR came out of the bedroom and she said, she see my helmet. She said, oh, you taking a bike? And I said, yeah. And she said, man, he just said on the news it's going to be raining all day today. There's going to be thunder showers this afternoon. And I said, wow. You know, I looked at these other 2 apps and it says it might rain. There might be a shower around 2 o'clock. And I get off work around 3:30, so I figured I'm going to be pretty safe to drive home. You know, I'll just wipe the seat off if it gets a little wet. But then what I did was I found a very interesting weather app, and I guess I've known it's been out there forever. But on top of our school, we have what's called a WeatherBug station. Now, 5-10 years ago, I remember WeatherBug sending all the school districts this memo between them and the local radio station here that stated they would give you a, you know, basically a free setup. It was like a grant if you wanted to put a weather station on your house, I mean on your school. So what I did was, I knew there's a weather station where I live on the top of the school where our kids went to school. And the school I work at's about 30 to 40 minutes from my house. And I know there's one on top of that school. So I kind of triangulate both of those and try to get an idea of what the weather's doing. Now, I don't know if WeatherBug is very accurate or not as far as predictions of rain. But for the local school where I live, it said no rain all day in our area. Because what I'm trying to do is pinpoint where you're riding your motorcycle. Because if I look at the weather app, a lot of those are picking weather up from the major city. Or your local airport is where that's picking that weather up from. It may not be right where you're at. The best knowledge I can give you for knowing your local temperature, obviously, would be to hang a thermometer, you know, on your house, and that's what I'm looking at next. Is getting a thermometer, and I want one of those ones that sit outside your window, and the other piece is inside your house, you know, and you can kind of get an idea of the weather and what's going on. So that's kind of what I am going to be looking into. And the reason that is just simply because then I know the actual local temperature that we're having at the general, you know, moment, instead of worried about the Pittsburgh International weather, which granted the airport's about I don't know, I'm going to say 15-20 miles from my house, roughly, something like that. It's not real far to the International Airport, Pittsburgh, and so it's close. But you know, I don't want to know if it's going to be raining at the airport because I'm not riding the bike to the airport. I'm riding the bike to work. But yeah, why can't all these different organizations pull from one thing, like Doppler radar, and just they all come out with the same exact stuff? I think we talked about this last year, you know. When you ride motorcycles, people at work think it's funny because I'll go in and I'll say, hey, they'll say, why didn't you bring the bike? I'll say, oh, it's going to storm today at 1 o'clock. Oh, you're crazy. It's beautiful outside. Jack, you're nuts. And then at 1 o'clock, you know, they're grabbing umbrellas to walk to the elementary school because, you know, it's raining. And they're like, man, you should be a meteorologist. You really know this stuff. I said, well, anybody that rides a motorcycle is an amateur meteorologist. I think we have to be. Well, you don't have to be. I mean, one thing Mrs. HDR asked me this morning, she says, your rain suit on the bike? I said, yep. She said, well, and I told you guys before, you know, if I'm going to get rained on, I'd rather be on the way home, because you can go home, you know, you could dry off, put another set of clothes on or something. On the way to work, you don't want to be soggy all day. But I told her, yeah, the rain suit is on the bike. You know, it's always on the bike. We talked about that in the saddlebag. Just in case. You never know when you'll be out somewhere and there'll be a pop-up shower or something. You might have to throw that thing on. But, you know, and maybe some people will say, I don't ride in the rain. They just don't ride in the rain. And I used to think that motorcyclists under an underpass were people that wouldn't ride in the rain. I used to believe that. When I was a cage driver, before I started really getting into riding motorcycles again. But then you learn that your BRC training tells you that when it starts raining, you know, pull over and give the roads like so many minutes, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, because that initial water hitting the road is pulling the excess of oils out of the blacktop, and it gets a little bit slippery like ice. So, you know, it's a good thing to stop for a little bit. Or, you know, we did that when we were on vacation last year. We seen these dark heavy clouds coming. We knew it was going to rain. I mean, we knew it was going to downpour on us. And so we stopped at this little pizza shop. We figured we'd stop in there, get a coffee or something. And what we did was we just waited it out. And that was, we were in South Dakota because we were coming back from Mount Rushmore that day. And yeah, I'm telling you what, we pulled over, and it's funny in South Dakota because it's a lot like South Carolina. We visit South Carolina every year. They can get a pop-up storm. It'll rain for 15 minutes, and then you'll go outside 15 minutes later and everything's dried up and you wouldn't even know it rained at all. South Dakota was the same way, for that particular day anyway, and I don't know if it's that way all the time, of course, but that particular day, it was. So, be that what it may be, you know. Alright, well, that's the end of my discussion this morning. I am about at work, and I see a little, I thought I seen a little water on the windshield. I did have to clean my face shield off this morning, and I'm sure I seen NC Stoney do this the other day. He's riding, and you could hear, it's like, yeah, bam! He's like, whoa, a bug just hit his helmet. So, you know, if you're going helmetless, you're taking that chance of that bug smacking you right in the face and like ripping your, you know, your cheek off or something. So, he had his full face helmet on. A bug hit my shield the other day on riding, and he's right. They always land in the line of sight. I think I call those kamikaze buggers because they're like looking for your face shield and they're aiming for your eye. They're coming straight in. Bam! And they just blast you, so you just got this gunk all over and you can't see anymore. I mean, of course you can throw the face shield up, you know, maybe if you have a pair of glasses on. A lot of you know I normally wear sunglasses, even with the full face helmet. Not in the mornings. In the mornings I usually don't wear glasses, I just go with the shield. So, be that what it is, huh? Alright, everybody, take care. Thanks for riding along. Harley Day Rider will be out in this weird, gloomy day here in Pennsylvania, and we will talk to you next time. Remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we will talk to you next time, right here, same station, same Technicolor Living. Woo! Gotta make this turn, on Harley Day Rider. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.